Hey everybody, it's Julie here from Mostly Caffeinated. I'm assuming you already read the title of this video, so you already know what I'm about to talk about. But I'm recording this, way ahead of upload. I'm secretly recording, I guess you could say. So secretly, in fact, that as of right now when I'm recording this, I haven't actually been able to tell my husband yet, because I just found this out. But somehow I am pregnant with baby number 3, which is very interesting. I haven't vlogged any of my other pregnancies because I wasn't on YouTube at that time. But essentially, long story short, our children have always been extremely planned. And this particular child is extremely not planned. As the timeline falls, we have literally just brought home our oldest, our son who is 13, who we plan to adopt. So in the matter of 2 weeks, we have gone from 2 children to 4 children. And since my channel is very much about authentic motherhood and adult life, I decided to sit down and record some kind of rambling about my thoughts today. I'm not even sure where to begin. Even my impetus for taking a test this time was different. My past 2 pregnancies, I've known I was pregnant before I ever took the test. I felt strange. I felt sick. I could tell. And I was right both times. This time, I don't feel strange at all. I have a stockpile of pregnancy tests, because after I had my second baby, my cycles were really strange for a while. And so I just went on Amazon and bought the science test strips, the thin strips that don't have any plastic applicator thing. I just bought a whole bunch of those. So I got 50 of those for $7 or something crazy. And I just shoved them in the drawer and I started using them kind of routinely because it just felt so weird in my first few cycles postpartum that I kept taking pregnancy tests because I couldn't tell what was going on with my body, just to make sure. And I was not pregnant any of those times. So I have a stockpile of pregnancy tests in my drawer. So I took one. Oh, when did I take one? I felt kind of sick. I don't know. A month or 2 ago, just for a day, but just to make sure I took one and it was negative, so whatever. And then this month, my cycle was 2-ish days late, which isn't very late. I mean, I've had times when I've been 2 days late before, whatever. But just on a whim, late last night, I was like, I'll just take a pregnancy test because that'd be funny. They're sitting here, they're super cheap, whatever. And it was positive. What? This has never been a thing that's happened to me before, where I took a pregnancy test and was shocked. That has never happened to me. Because I've always known ahead of time, I could always tell. I was like, what? And I'm sitting there looking at this thing and I'm like, I really don't think this is possible. I'm pretty sure you can't get a false positive. But I really don't think I don't understand how this is possible. And holy cow, we weren't planning on this. And this is ridiculous timing. How on earth, what just happened to my life? And so I went to bed, I went to sleep, kind of forgot about it. Woke up this morning, was I'll just take another one. Because again, I got a drawer full, so whatever. I'll just take another one. Whatever. That one was positive. And somehow, for some reason, even though, I'm 30 years old and have been pregnant prior, I still didn't believe the stinking strip. So I took a third one and I actually watched it develop. And it was instantaneous. There was not like maybe I waited too long the last 2 times I took it, or maybe something happened. Maybe I did it wrong. No. No, it's not wrong. And after the third one, apparently I was convinced. And I've just been in shock all day. I enjoy pregnancy. I even enjoy having babies. Labor and delivery doesn't bother me. I have a great midwife. I'm still living close enough to her to use her. That's not a problem. My husband loves babies. My children love babies. That's fine. I feel like I have gotten pretty good at things like nursing and caring for babies, baby wearing, and sleep training, and all those kinds of things over the course of my 2 children. So I'm not concerned about the logistics of the actual infant, but I can't fathom having 4 children. It's not like we never meant to have a 4th child, because we did. Sometime. We've just now started talking about, hey, someday when we maybe have a 3rd baby. Someday is now. And I feel like I'm wildly unprepared in terms of how to parent this many children at once. I don't even know what to think. I have never before taken a pregnancy test and felt to myself, well, that's really not great timing, until this morning. And that's not to say that I'm not excited. Of course, I'm excited. And of course, all of my children are, gifts from God. They're sent at a perfect time, exactly when they're supposed to, exactly who they're supposed to be. But I just, in my limited human understanding, cannot fathom how this is a good time for this to be happening. But I guess it is, because here we are. And, I'm quite well educated in, fertility and preventing pregnancy or achieving pregnancy. And I was not trying to get pregnant. Let's just say that. I was kind of trying to not get pregnant, and we were using contraceptive measures. I had no intention of getting pregnant right now. I was doing things to prevent getting pregnant right now, and here we are anyway. So evidently, this child is really, really, really supposed to be in this family right now. God's got me how that's going to work. I don't know. I've had a teenager for about a week and a half. I've got a almost 4-year-old and almost 2-year-old, and apparently we're going to have another baby in this house. So it's going to be a wild time. I don't even know. But anyway, I need to tell my husband tonight. He's been working all day, so he doesn't know yet. And I hope he doesn't have a heart attack, because we're already in a period of, great adjustment, adding a 3rd child to our home. And, a child of an age that we haven't experienced as parents. We have a lot of experience with teens as far as teaching goes, but, this is kind of new territory for us, parenting a teen. So we're just, beginning. I can't even say we're just getting used to it. No, we're literally just beginning. We're baby steps here. So I hope when I tell him that he doesn't literally have a heart attack. This is a lot to take in. I've struggled to take it in today. And I feel like I processed this foster parent adoption thing a lot sooner than he did. I processed this process months ago when I first heard about our son. That same day, it was all right, it's a done deal. He's coming home. This is my son. I don't think Mark started to process till he actually arrived here about a week ago. So, it's a good thing that babies take 9 months to grow, because that gives me from today approximately 8 months to figure out what on earth we're going to do and how we're going to do it. I don't know. You know, we're modest people. We don't have a lot of rooms. We don't have a lot of money. We don't have a lot of time. I don't have a lot of patience. I do have a lot of coffee that I should probably cut down on. But somehow we're going to make it work, I guess. I don't know how, but by the seat of our pants, like we've done pretty much everything else, we'll make this work too, I guess. So, anyway, I obviously don't have any symptoms yet because I took a test on a whim. So I have nothing to talk about there. But if you're along for the journey, if you've not watched my videos before, they've never been pregnancy related before, but if you're interested, go ahead and subscribe. If you've been watching me for a long time, go ahead and leave a comment. I don't know how many pregnancy related videos I'm going to do because that was not ever the intention of my channel. Surprise. Everything's a surprise today, but we'll see. What is going to happen, I can assure you, is further kind of minimalism and simple living videos. My way of dealing with my slight panic throughout today has been purging of things. The only way I can feasibly see that I could possibly wrap a fourth child into this crazy lifestyle that we have right now is to have even less possessions. The kids have too many clothes. We're running out of brain cells. I don't have time to deal with the logistics of like laundry and this and then the next thing. So I'm trying to simplify and pare down even more. I went through the boys' drawers and got rid of about half their clothes. I sorted through all the hand-me-downs and put them by size in 2-gallon Ziploc bags. I implemented a dot system in my boys' clothing so that my 4-year-old son has 1 dot in his clothes, and when they become my 2-year-old son's clothes, I put a second dot in there so that if I pass it to a third child, I can put a third dot, and we can keep track of whose clothes are whose because they are only one size apart, and it's kind of hard to tell. And I only know because I've memorized what they own, and my husband doesn't know, and my oldest son doesn't know, and there's no way I can do this all by myself. So that's what I've been doing, organizing and purging all day long to try to make mental space for this child and physical space for this child. So there will be more of that upcoming. I've decided I've got too many clothes in my closet. I pulled out my fall-winter clothes, and it's just way too many. I got a pair way, way down. And now if I'm going to go back to maternity clothes, I don't even know. I don't even know what that looks like. Like, I don't even know. This is a different season than I've ever been pregnant in before. You know, I don't exactly know when I got pregnant because unlike every other time, I didn't do this on purpose. But I think, you know, probably 3 weeks ago, this month, I'm assuming, which puts this baby arriving in May, I think. Both of my babies were born in November, so this is like exactly opposite of how it's ever worked before. My other 2 pregnancies were from February to November, and this is August to May. This is like the weird, no, September? What month is this? Oh my gosh. Anyway. I don't know. If anybody happens to be watching me who has 3 children under 5 years of age, or a teen and a bunch of tiny children, or 4 children in general, or just a lot of children, you know, leave comments. Let's be friends. I'm going to need some assistance. But I'll see you guys around. Bye. Hey everybody, Julie here from Mostly Caffeinated. It has not been terribly long since I filmed my first secret pregnancy update, whatever, video. It's only been about a week. This is like week 5. But here's what I have to say about pregnancy, baby number 3. And the first time I've ever been like pregnant by surprise. I can't tell if what I'm feeling is a real pregnancy symptom, a symptom of caffeine withdrawal because I cut out coffee cold turkey the other day when I found out, or in my brain because now that I know I'm pregnant, I'm thinking I should be feeling a certain way. It's like, I don't know, and it's kind of frustrating. Like, I feel really tired. Well, is that just the coffee wearing off? Is that the fact that I am tired? Is that all in my head because I think I'm supposed to be tired because I'm usually tired first trimester. Do I take a nap, or is that totally not worthwhile? Like, I can't even tell. And I feel kind of like groggy and woozy and not all here, very mentally fuzzy. And I can't decide if that's in my head, if it's because of the lack of caffeine, or because I'm actually tired and experiencing pregnancy symptoms. Like, I don't know. So I'm in a very strange place, feelings-wise. And also I realized between, my first update and this one that I don't know the precise due date of this child. I have always known, like, a conception date for my children. Not a clue. Don't know. So that's an interesting, piece to this pregnancy puzzle. I'm completely off seasons. Like, I've never been pregnant during these parts of the year. So I think now's a good time to implement, like, the 10-item wardrobe that I've been working down towards the last few seasons. So my fall-winter capsule wardrobe might either be late, because I got to keep a secret, or just very small. We'll see. And I know I'm supposed to film some end-of-summer favorites. I keep putting that on my schedule, and it keeps not happening yet. Maybe I'll get it done today, maybe I won't. We'll see. But anyway, it is an interesting experience. And thinking that this is my last pregnancy, that's the plan anyway, is my last biological child. That's kind of, the gravity of that is really starting to sink in. That, my documenting here, or, in this child's baby book or whatever. Sorry. Will really be, this is really my last one, and that's interesting. I'm holding on to the immense feeling that is. Good thing I've got about 8 months to work through that. So anyway, I'll see you guys around. That's all I got for now. Just real quick, I wanted to say some things. I'll see you around. Bye. Hey everybody, Julie here from Mostly Caffeinated. I wanted to drop by and do one last secret pregnancy update, I think. I have finally scheduled my first midwife appointment. My midwife doesn't choose to see, I don't know how to say this, doesn't want to, doesn't care to. That all sounds bad. Doesn't need you to be seen until, she said, 10 to 12 weeks. Depending on your comfort level, she said. Being that this is my third baby and my second with my midwife, I feel pretty comfortable waiting till 12 weeks. So I scheduled my appointment for 1 week from today. I know you're not seeing this in real time. Right now I'm 11 weeks, I think. So technically I've scheduled that appointment for right during my 12th week. Now I'm not entirely sure. That's part of the purpose of this 12-week appointment. My midwife is really great at estimating due dates. She got my second son, my last baby, perfectly correct. He came exactly on that date, despite the fact that the consulting OB picked a different date. So I am trusting her to help me kind of nail down a couple of weeks where the baby might be arriving in May. I've never really talked about that yet in one of these secret pregnancy updates, I don't think, but I didn't plan this baby. Not that we didn't intend to have a third baby sometime, but my other two biological children, like literally, we chose a month to try to get pregnant, got pregnant that month, bam, it was exactly the way that we intended. This child was a complete surprise. Like, I took a pregnancy test because I was late, and I've never been late in my life. I've always known I was pregnant before my cycle was ever due, and I was like 3 days late, and I haven't been late at all since I started natural family planning, so I took a test just in case. I think we maybe were going out to eat that night or something, and I wanted to test just in case I ordered a drink. I've done that before. So I took a test, and lo and behold, I was pregnant, which came out of left field. We were not attempting to get pregnant. We were, in fact, using contraceptive measures. Not sure how that happened, but anyway, because I was not intending to get pregnant, I'm not exactly sure when I did get pregnant. Now, because I do natural family planning, I do track my cycles, and I try to write down, my ovulation symptoms. So I had kept track of when my last period was, which is all well and good, but based on my last 2 pregnancies, my luteal phase is strange. The calculators on the internet, a traditional OB, they factor that you got pregnant, a certain number of days after your last menstrual cycle, and I know from my last 2 pregnancies that was not accurate. Using those dates led me to an incorrect number of weeks, as suggested by my midwife, by scans, by when the baby actually arrived and what they seemed like. According to traditional OB dates and computerized dates, my last baby was 2 full weeks overdue. But when he arrived, he was exactly the same size as my previous baby and had no signs of actually being overdue. So I think he was spot on, and he was spot on for my midwife's predicted due date. So I'm excited for this appointment next week that she will help me predict a due date, because I really am very uncertain. I'm guessing the middle of May, based on trying to use an internet calculator and trying to count based on what I had written down, but the internet calculations are all telling me I conceived on a Tuesday. And you mamas with more than one child, you know how this works. I have 3 children and one of them is a teenager. I know for a fact, without a doubt, I did not conceive a child on a Tuesday because I don't have sex on Tuesdays. So it couldn't have happened on Tuesday. And if you think I'm crazy for knowing exactly which day of the week I have sex, then you don't have 3 children. So because I know it wasn't a Tuesday, I know the internet is not telling me accurate information. Now, I can tell my midwife all of this, and she can look at my previous records, and she can help me nail down a date much better. So I'm excited for that, because then I'll have a date. I'm also excited because at 12 full weeks, unlike a traditional OB where usually they want you to be seen at 8 weeks, I know you will be able to detect a heartbeat with either a fetoscope or a Doppler. They can't do that at 8 weeks. Usually the baby is too small. So you go and they just go, I don't know, you're pregnant. Yay! So I'm excited because my last pregnancy I did not begin care with my midwife. I actually didn't begin care at all until I was about halfway through because I was in insurance limbo. I was not pleased with my previous OB. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what to do. And my midwife's practice asks you to come to an orientation meeting before you begin care for the very first time, and I couldn't get into an orientation meeting for months. So I went to the very first one I could, and as soon as I had gone to that, I booked an appointment, but that ended up being about halfway through my pregnancy. So I've never actually gone to a first trimester, appointment with my midwife, but I know what she's going to do, and I'm pretty excited for that. I'm also excited that there's no ultrasound involved. If you don't know my previous pregnancy history, I don't even know if I've ever talked about this on my YouTube channel. I know I've talked about it, with friends in groups, in, places where it makes sense to talk about. But I'm not sure I've ever talked about it on my channel. But my very first pregnancy ever ended in an early miscarriage. And I found that out during one of these dating ultrasounds, at my first OB appointment. They did a dating ultrasound to try to figure out when I was due, and that's when I found out that I had lost that pregnancy. So when I got pregnant with my oldest biological son, the first time a pregnancy stuck, and then when we go to that dating ultrasound, I just about had a heart attack. The dating ultrasound, terrifies me beyond all reason. I have, post-traumatic problems with dating ultrasounds. So I intentionally didn't get one with my second child, even though I wasn't seeing my midwife yet. And I'm excited that she doesn't offer one, that she doesn't do them, that she doesn't think they're important, because that means I don't have to get one. And I don't have to, sit in the waiting room drinking a gallon of water, having palpitations about whether or not I'm going to see a baby on that screen. So, there's that. But I'm excited for my appointment. I really love my midwife. The last time I saw her was about 6 months ago because I had to get a physical for my adoption license, and she did that for me. But she's just a great lady. Maybe I'll talk more about her some other time. But the way I describe her to people is she's kind of a Helga. Not to put down anybody whose name is Helga, but she's kind of stern, kind of old-fashioned. She's not, she's not the frou-frou kind of hippie. She's not got, like, long hair and long skirts and, like, all this stuff. Like, she wears scrub pants. She's a pretty stern lady. She's got gray hair, kind of a severe-looking facial expression to her. She's real no-nonsense. But I wouldn't ever want anybody else to take care of me and my baby. Like, she was magical. She was everything I ever wanted in a care provider that I've never had before. I kind of stumbled upon her. My earring is stuck in my shirt. In case you can't tell, I'm wearing these, like, threaders. I've got a cowl neck shirt on, and now one of them is stuck in it. Okay. Anyway, I kind of stumbled upon her because she's the only midwife at the practice who took state insurance, and I was on state insurance at the time that I began care there, so bam, that was my only choice, and I'm so glad it was. All three of the midwives at the practice were actually at my birth. That's a long story. I'll tell my birth story someday, but they were all three there, and all three of them were great. But having had all three of them involved in some aspect or another, I am very glad that I chose the midwife that I chose. So, anyway, I'm excited for my appointment with my midwife. Is that weird? No one's ever excited for, like, an OB/GYN appointment. I certainly never was. I hated those. But a midwife appointment is so much different, so much better, so much less high pressure, so much less nudity, so much less clinical, so much less waiting. Like, I go in there and tops, I wait 10 minutes, and I'm only waiting the 10 minutes if either somebody's in labor or she's on the phone. So, easy peasy. Anyway, so that's happening in a week. So, in a week from when I'm recording this, I will get to record my announcement video and officially put that up, and then I can put this string of secret pregnancy updates kind of together, cobble it together. I know I didn't do very many, but, I have 3 kids. I'll cobble it together and upload it after my announcement video. So, as I think this is my last secret update, I will see you guys in my next pregnancy update, which will be during second trimester.